Assalamu alaikum. Hello, everyone. I hope that you're doing well. My name is Yahya Echattoui. I am a member of your family from Morocco, and I'm very happy to serve today by this session on the basics of agile leadership. Before I start, I would like to know a little bit about you. How did you spend your day? How are you feeling today? And it will be a great start to make this time an interactive time, like in which a family refreshes its perspective on these topics that we have in our like intra-group sessions. So maybe I can start from Sumaya to tell us about like her day and how is she feeling today. But I mean, everyone is welcome. But Sumaya is the first one that I see. That's why I started from Sumaya.
السلام عليكم. Can I speak French?
Yes, please. You can speak French, Arabic. You're free to speak that.
or Arabic.
Yeah, sure.
اوكي. السلام عليكم.
عليكم السلام.
سميتي سمية الوسولي. آه، انا فرحانه بزاف حيت صراحه غنحضر بحال هاد لي فورماسيون حيت انا ديما انتريسي بهاد الليدرشيب اجيل ولا لا ديريكسيون اجيل حيت في لونتربرونيا كنحتاجو بحال هاد لي فورماسيون كينفعونا بزاف. دونك انا يعني اكسايتد بزاف انني نحضر لهاد لا فورماسيون. وشكرا ليك بزاف حيت خصتي لينا هاد الوقت. عارفة انك غتكون مشغول بزاف د الحوايج ولكن خصتي لينا حنا هاد الوقت باش بارطاجي مع اكسبيريونس ديالك في هاد لو كوتي. دونك شكرا بزاف. آه هذا ما كان.
Thank you very much سمية. غادي نحتاج غير نهضر بالونجلي باش هكا نترجموا الناس اللي ما كانوش معنا من المغرب. And that's why I speak English. واخا.
اوكي.
So, okay, thank you very much. So, Sumaya, thank you very much, first of all, and I'm very happy that you are really interested in this topic. I mean, today we are just going to have like a family discussion on this topic. So we are not going to talk like about technical details and other like methodologies that can be applied. But I mean, this is the purpose. The purpose is to see how our network like sees these topics. So thank you very much, Sumaya. And if there is any translation, I can translate from Arabic into English, from English into Arabic. If you would like to speak French, that's also great. So from Sumaya, I'll go to my dear friend Ryan to tell us about his day and how he's feeling today. So that would be great to hear from Ryan.
Hello, Yahya. It's been a
Hello,
while.
Yahya.
We met in Strasbourg. How are you doing today?
I'm fine, and we went to Germany for a coffee, so that that
Yeah,
that also
sure.
counts. How are you doing today, brother?
I'm doing good, brother. Everything is good. I just finished work for today and so excited for this session.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Ryan. And I know that you had many events this week, so
Yes,
thank you very much for taking care of youth and for being so active.
yes,
Um,
pleasure.
Thank you, brother. So I'll go to my dear friend Wisal. I mean, thank you very much, Wisal, first of all, for volunteering to do like a session like this before. So I just want to know how are you doing today? How was your day, and how are you feeling in general?
Hi, Yahya. Thank you so much for thanking me. And I thank you as well for the great initiative. I think the topic is very interesting, and I hope you're doing well and everybody is doing well. So, yeah, generally, I'm looking forward to your session. The day has been very long, just got home. But other than that, good luck to you and good luck to the others.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So now, like, I would let the order open because I can't see names as I saw them before. So please, feel free to tell us about your day. Maybe Khadija wants to tell us about her day. So please, Khadija, you're welcome.
Yes, hello everyone. I hope you are doing well. So first of all, I would love like to thank the EUGIL connectors who are present today, and also all the people who are working behind this big project. And I'm very sorry if I couldn't be present in a lot of sessions before, since I'm engaged with a lot of things in school, and also for my exchange that will begin in 1 month. But today I'm free, and I'm very happy to join you and to attend your workshop, Yahya. I hope that it's not. I hope I'm pretty sure that I'm gonna learn a lot of things about leadership. Maybe also develop my skills. And my day, it was a bit exhausted because, as usual, we are working from the morning until night. And yeah, so happy to know all of you. And yes, thank you very much, Yahya, for this initiative.
Of course, thank you very much, Khadija, and I hope that exchange will be fruitful, and it will teach you and other people a lot from that experience. An exchange is always great. Look, like we have met like a family with Ryan now because of an exchange. So thank you very much. I'm seeing a lot of amazing people, members of our family. So please, feel free to tell us about your day. How are you feeling today? Because that is the first thing that matters to me. I'm not here to just share something and go, but I'm here for you, and I appreciate your attendance first of all. So please feel free.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, Anas.
Hey, Yahya. Hope you're doing well, and all the guys here, the friends. Nice to meet you again virtually. It's been a long time since attending any workshop, so it is a great honor to be here today. Thank you so much for this initiative. And for my day, it was good. I just came to home and made a food that I really like. So I made it with all the love, and I will attend the workshop and then start eating. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Did you have some tea or not yet?
Yes, I have
You
the
did?
coffee
All right.
and the tea in the afternoon.
Of course. I mean, they should know that Moroccans solve every problem with tea, so that's
Oh,
something we should share. Thank you very much, brother. Please, I'm seeing Mohammed, Ikram, Afaf, a lot of amazing people. So please feel free to share, your day. How are you feeling? Because we still need to hear a lot from our members here.
Hi, everybody. I'm so
Hi,
sorry. I'm
Ikram.
happy. How are you? Yeah, it's been a long time since I've last seen you virtually. We didn't have a chance to meet yet, as is the case with most people here. I really look forward to meeting everybody in real life. Anas, I am kind of jealous of your ability to wait and not have the food I'm currently eating as I'm talking to all of you. I wouldn't be able to be that patient. And my day was very, very long. Someone asked me a couple of hours ago, how was your morning? I was like, morning? That sounds like 2 days ago. So yeah, I'm very happy to be here and to kind of freshen up and meet you again.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And I'm sure that Anas is going to teach us a lot about his patience techniques, because it's famous in education that they have the marshmallow test, and I think Anas will be the champion in this test. So that's like wonderful. Thank you very much. Please, maybe I should go to FF because I know she's taking care of, a lot of things. So I would like to know about her, because last time we met in Strasbourg and we never met in Morocco after that. So I hope
Yeah,
that
that's very unfortunate. Well, since I'm the only one left, I guess, my day has been quite hectic, but it's good news for everyone. We're working on a lot of big projects in Morocco, inshallah. Some in February, some later. I wish I could say more, but very big things are coming for the EU neighbor south, especially for the UGIL connectors in Morocco. So yeah, the day has been hectic, but it's going to be worth it, inshallah. The food must be worth the wait.
Yeah,
This reminded me, we're working a lot on the buffet, so the buffets are going to be very nice for the events too.
wonderful. I think we have experts already. Please, feel free for the other members who have just joined or were with us and didn't speak, feel free to speak directly without raising your hands. So, it's family time. I think we have Ansam, so please,
Yes,
feel free.
it's Ansam. Hello everyone.
Oh,
شكرا يحيى عشان أعطيتنا من وقتك اليوم.
الله يبارك فيك، شكراً.
أنا متفائلة. عنوان السيشن عجبني جدا وفرصة سعيدة إن نتلاقى معكم مرة ثانية virtual طبعا، ونتمنى إن احنا نتلاقوا على أرض الواقع يعني very soon.
Inshallah. I mean, it all like it always feels different to اللقاء على أرض الواقع شيء غير، وإن شاء الله يكون في القريب.
إن شاء الله.
الله يبارك فيك إنسان. Thank you very much.
Hi everyone.
Hi.
Yeah, Yahya. I'm just gonna say hi to everyone. It's Nicole from Lebanon. Apparently, it's a hectic day for everyone. I'm not gonna repeat the same thing. Just some heads up. We've been working a bit on the evaluation, like the template for the Usual Connect members. So we're gonna be working on this later on. And I'm very happy to be here and meeting you even at this time. And for your time, Yahya, we know you're all very busy, so we really appreciate it.
It feels like a day that you wait for I mean, I had another like time that I set with the Nisreen, but then we had to change, and this one feels like a very special day that I was waiting for, and it's always like wonderful to serve. So thank you very much for helping me, because I've been receiving help from you and other members of the team like during today and even before, so I really appreciate that. So we have Ali, we have Muhammad. Please, Ali, I think we would like to know about your day, brother. So feel free to share.
Hello, Yahya. How are you?
Hello, brother. I'm fine, thank you.
Hello, everyone. This is Ali Hamad, the UGL connector from Jordan. Well, my day was great, very productive, actually. So I'm just really looking forward for this session. Agile always like when you put it in the title, it's just like makes it more interesting. So I'm really excited and happy to see you guys. Let's go. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah, thank you very much, brother. Thank you. So I think I mean, the floor is always open. So just to tell you a little bit about like my background, the language I'm speaking today was something that that was not even possible like during my middle school years. My name is Yahya Echattoui. I was born in the slums of Casablanca. Uh, it's a part of Casablanca that doesn't have like good houses, and it didn't have them. Now it doesn't exist anymore. And I was born like in a very poor family, and studying English was something that I couldn't dream of. So even my primary school years were so hard because I had to study a little bit far away from home. So I used to walk for a long distance to go to school. We didn't have a school bus. We didn't have any other thing like this. So sometimes we would ask people to give us a drive to school. Sometimes we would walk and so on. So it lasted for 6 years. The first time I was introduced to something called like, leadership or management, it was during the 6th grade of primary school. And it was because of a teacher who started an environmental club. This was in 2006. So, that was the first moment I discovered something called leading. I was always introduced to a classroom with a very technical leader, and obviously there was the teacher, but it never happened for something different. So that was my first time opening my eyes to something called leadership. To be honest, I didn't know it was called leadership back then. But now, after many years, I can reflect like on that experience. And that was the reason I was involved in civic activities. After this, and since I told you I was like suffering with studies and with my education, I had to live with my grandparents, Allah yarhamhum. So when I moved to live with them, it was because of continue in my studies. I wanted to go for middle school and then like 1 year of high school. So living away from my parents, suffering again with walking for long distance to go to school, I was always like not having excellence at what I was doing. I mean, studies. And the thing that helped me was the club, like the school club. And the school club was my chance that made me connect to school, love something called activities and service. So they were like a reason for me to love life and to just go to school, but with a different mindset. I felt that I was appreciated. I felt that I had meaning, and that was a second occasion. So for middle school, I was like in citizenship club. I was in journalism club, and those experiences gave me like they had given me another perspective again on what I mean or what I see as leadership. So after this, and in high school, I still remember that the Moroccan currency is dirham, like 1 dirham. With my friend Abdurrahim, like he gave me 1 dirham and I gave 1 dirham, and then we printed a document and we gave it to the school headmaster because I went to a public high school. So when we went to the headmaster, we asked him to set up a club. And when I see myself now in Common Core, I said, come on, I was so young to do this. And with my friend Abdurrahim, we did this experience and it was very successful because it gave me that sense of responsibility. And it was my first occasion to practice something called leading a group of people. So the first recommendation that I would like to share with you today is this. If you have people that you are trying to help, from a young age, try to help them get involved in school life activities and then university life activities, because they would give them a mindset of leadership from a young age. And this is why I am doing like this reflection on my life, because I don't want to talk about it like from a different perspective. I want it to be from a very simple perspective that we can apply with every single person, like in this life and at schools. After this, I was introduced to this type of leadership, but for another purpose, which was about university life. So with my friends again, we did like a club at the American Cultural Center in Casablanca, and it was called the Moroccan American Volunteers Club. So that was another occasion for me to follow a style of leadership. And because of that experience, I went to the US in like almost 10 years ago to learn about civic management. So I participated in a program called IVLP, International Visitor Leadership Program, and I was introduced to many experiences of federal organizations and initiatives to know more about the practices of leadership. After this, I choose teaching as a job, and I've been serving for the Ministry of National Education, Preschool and Sports for almost 8 years now. 4 years as a high school teacher, another 4 years as a facilitator, pedagogical facilitator and trainer. And the center that we've built together as a team, it's running by this type of leadership, even though we belong to the public service. But the secret in everything we've done like throughout these 4 years was because of this type of leadership. So today, the reason I am here with in this family meeting is to share my perspective on this. And I should give credit to the person who introduced me to this topic. In 2019, there was like a big festival, youth festival in Morocco. It was called the Moonshot Festival. And I was assigned this workshop to do it like twice with the different groups of people. And this theme was suggested by my friend Ilyas Ben Arouia, who is a president of an association here in Morocco. So it was the reason why I received this theme. And I still remember that I went for a hike to understand this more, even though I was like understanding a lot of the basic values, but I had to travel in order to reflect upon it and to see how I can do it, but with my way, with my human perspective. So that's a little bit of a background. And I will share with you how I do it, as a workshop to help like university students and other people. Because my purpose, again, in this family meeting is to share with you some ways that I follow as a teacher, facilitator, and servant of learning to apply them with other people and with your own organization. So this is how we can like have this collaborative learning spreading all over the world. So I'll share with you everything that I do. So the first thing that I do with people is called drama-based learning. The purpose of this is to to do a team building. If you are interested in this, maybe I can share with you some techniques, some exercises that you can apply. But let me just show the purpose first. So the purpose is to get people together, make them introduce themselves. Normally, I ask them this question: what makes you happy? Like, what is that thing that you enjoy? And then they start answering me. Some people say playing football, some people say hiking and stuff. And I open a discussion with them. Then I ask them to move around, and then I ask them to breathe, and then I give them some rules to play. After this, I give them themes that are mainly related to leadership. For example, this team, I would give them like the theme of communication, and I would ask them to do it in a bad example and a good example. And then the other team, I would give them like collaboration. And then the last team, if there are three, I would give them like the theme of commitment. So they would do the contrast, and like as a group, they would act the good example, the bad example. When they finish, we get together so that we can elicit some recommendations from their plays. So this is how I use drama-based learning. Before I continue this, I would like to ask you, if you are like leading a group of people currently, or if you are part of a group, can you tell me something that you like about this experience of leadership and something that you would like to improve? Since Ali told me that he had a good day, I'm sure that you had leadership during this day. Maybe you were the leader, or you were part of a team. So can you tell me maybe a good practice and the practice that you would like to improve as a leader in future?
Well, I'm trying to think. Today it was like mainly office work, so didn't really interact with the humans. But like generally speaking, I do training, so I do like coaching and mentoring in business management and entrepreneurship. So I would coach young aspiring leaders, and maybe a good example of leadership is I like to call it the get your hand dirty thing. So I'd like I would call them to practically present their ideas, or talk about, or have discussions about some topics, and maybe sometimes debate. So in that way, they all would be encouraged to come up with their ideas, own version of their ideas, and embrace it, and embrace being wrong, or to do some mistakes. And that's how they learn at the end of the day. So that's what would I say.
Yeah, I mean that's super practical. And when I told you about my experience with the primary school teacher, it was empowering because of this. Because because he gave us the chance to be part of the club, not to be just students receiving. No, but we were active. And like when I reflect on things that happened, I said, oh, like thank you very much for that, because that was a model of like, you know, energy mindset that started from a young age, and that inspired me as a teacher as well. So whenever I am facilitating workshops, or facilitating like competencies to people, I have empathy, and I see empathy as the first thing that I should have all the time. So me asking you about your day is not a technique. I know we, as trainers, we follow like some techniques of warm up, and Ali does this every time in his workshop. So we have a set of things that we do, but today is different. Today is a family meeting. So I mean it. If like, for example, FF were doing this today, I would like her to ask me, because I want to be recognized as present. So I'm not here to throw something and go. So you see, so empathy And what Ali does is always needed. And when I do this drama-based learning, it's because of this. I want them to see how things function in real life. And then when they elicit some recommendations, they give me things that they have seen, in role playing, which is super practical. I should go to see the discussion. Oh, thank you very much for everyone. Please, feel free to speak directly. I don't want to miss this. This is great. I want to go to Ansam, and I want to know something that went a little bit challenging with the leadership style you received today, and you would like to change it so you can have a better day. Ansam?
Please can you repeat again ما
Yeah,
سمعتكش.
sure, Ansam. So you told me that you had a little bit of a challenging day. If you were like the main leader of this day, the director or any other role, what would you change so that you can make your team members end their day not with the same energy that you have today?
Maybe ممكن اوكي حنحكي بالعربي طبعا.
خلاص ما في
اوكي
مشكلة.
من
I mean, I understand that I speak Arabic, but the problem with
اوكي
Moroccans, we don't
حاول
understand our
نخليها
Darija.
نوعا ما فصحى. I will do my best.
إن شاء الله إن
اوكي
شاء الله.
من يعني أنا recently I quit my job. أنا استقلت من فترة بسيطة بسبب التيم ليدر. بسبب إن من أكثر الأخطاء في الليدرشيب لما الليدر يشوف إن حد من التيم ممبرز أداءه أفضل من باقي أفراد الفريق، فيتم الاعتماد عليه بشكل مبالغ فيه، وبدل من إنه يتم مكافأته لكونه شخص جيد التاسكس يكونوا أكثر. فالموضوع يعني overwhelming كان بالنسبة لي. فالحقيقة ما حبيتش إني أنا نكمل في التجربة، عشان حبيت نستثمر وقتي في مكان آخر، ونشوف إن مكان مثلا يكون فيه مساواة نوعا ما في طريقة تقسيم التاسك وما إلى ذلك. فممكن لو أنا كنت في نفس المكان الليدر كنت نحاول إني أنا نكون عادلة من باب التقسيم، ونحاول إن ما نخليش المسؤوليات على شخص واحد بس، نحاول إن نحسن من جودة الفريق بدل إننا نركز على نقاط القوة فقط. نحاول إن نحسن من جودة الباقي أفراد الفريق، نشوف وين نقاط الضعف عند الباقي، اللي هي الكاباسيتي بيلدينج وما إلى ذلك، من دون ما نخلي ضغط على جهة واحدة. and that's it.
Thank you very much. That's very helpful. And it's part of entrepreneurship, that inside investment or inner investment is always needed. And as I said before, as a human being, I love seeing empathy as part of the leadership model I am part of. And not that empathy that, make people weak or dependent on one another, but that empathy that seeks presence, and that is always needed. And some I like as a member of my dear family in this network, I hope that the next exchange will give you a different perspective, will recognize your efforts more, and will give you like another environment of excellence, because I know that you just need a different energy so that you can give even more than what you were given. Thank you very much, Ryan. I'm sure you lived this week with different events and different initiatives. Could you tell me like something you liked about the leadership model you were receiving this week?
Well, actually, I learned how to take this opportunity of leading by example into the next level, knowing the fact that I'm known in my network in my home country for being a success story and an inspiration for so many youth. I was told by someone, why didn't you uh, go into the stage and talk about your success story and about your experience? I said that actually I'd rather to listen to people what they have done so far, how was their experience, and how the program that I took part in shape them and improve their skills more often so they become inspirational change makers in their community. And I decided to do this on purpose because uh, talking in front of people into the stage it is a success itself, but the real success when you achieve something outstanding that is out of the scope of your work. For example, being featured in very well known websites for creating impact. This is, for example, a real success. But attending maybe forums, after workshops, after regional opportunities, not all of them is the real success. They are considered as milestones, in other terms. That's what encouraged me to get to know more about how real success is built. You start building milestones after milestones until the real success is achieved. And this is something that I'm currently working on. So I make people aware of the idea that there is no need to over exaggerate announcing your milestones. They are not achievements by themselves, they are milestones that is a building phase to achieve the real success. And that's what I'm currently trying to convey to everyone so they know that what they are doing is good. However, the better thing to do is to build on this milestone and turn it into an inspirational success that everyone would remember. And this way, each one of us would leave a legacy behind.
I strongly agree with you, and it reminds me of something very important, which is a crucial part of leadership, which is mindset. And I have a recommendation for all of us today from this book. I'll share it, like I have the picture here, which talks about growth mindset by the American psychologist Carol Dweck. So growth mindset is mainly about this. It's about the process, the progress, and never ending with the milestones. And since we are sharing all of these stories, I know that um, we need them individually, as communities, as families, also as countries. Starting from the neighborhood, of Europe to Europe itself. So every single country needs this. And I'm sure that if we have this mindset with all of the leaders and the leadership models and the development models of our countries, I think they are going to help us. Um, I mean, I really appreciate this sharing because it is something that I see very important, and it shows me the importance of mindset for leaders. So thank you very much, Ryan. Um, Please, the floor is open. Wissal, I know that you are studying this in one of the famous universities in Morocco. What is your golden recommendation and tip uh, to share with us when it comes to healthy, meaningful, mindful leadership, please? So
Okay.
me, okay, so I'll go to Wissal, please. Yes.
Okay. So I actually don't know which side I should focus on because there are many things. But I think one of the most important things that you have all mentioned is empathy. But as you said, like too much empathy can also be bad sometimes because a leader needs to be as well, like as empathetic as firm sometimes. Um, but one other thing that I should insist on is a leader that does not know what is going on with his her their team is not a good leader, despite regardless of what they're gonna do about it, whether they choose to be empathetic or more firm, etc. If they don't have a thorough knowledge of what is going on around them, and if they don't take the time to listen, it's just not gonna work in either style they choose to do, because a lot of what happens generally is that people decide to make decisions either because of urgency, importance, and a lot of things, or sometimes just because they have to make a decision and end up leaving a lot of information that is very crucial behind, or did not pay attention to it. So I think general knowledge of what is going on with the team, around projects, around the program, having a thorough check with everything is good. I don't know if you want me to add anything else.
That's already great, and it's by experience, and it's by my daily life. I feel I belong when when I feel that the leader, if I'm not like the leader in a work, I feel like I belong because of this sense of proactive empathy, not reactive or passive empathy. So, grazie mille in Italian. Thank you very much. Please, it's always open. I don't want to like keep the order going like this, but feel free to speak anytime you would like to share. There is no like protocol when it comes to sharing. I'm not here as a stranger. We are all family, and I'll try to make this brief because I know that you had a long day at work, so it will be just like a discussion, a refreshment of our perspectives on leadership. Uh, I see this paragraph as the core of like agile leadership. And since I teach English, I always ask sometimes students to read. So who would like to read for us today? I don't want to bother Ryan
I
because
haven't heard this in 10 years at least.
do we have FF as a volunteer? Okay, we do.
No, 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 no. I just said that I haven't heard who would like to read since high school, perhaps, or 10 years or so.
Yeah, I'm just giving you the vibe of a teacher again. So please, maybe Ryan has a good mic, so maybe Ryan would volunteer to read for us today.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, thank you, brother.
I actually, when I looked at the text itself, it reminded me of uh, so many experiences that I had when dealing with a category of people who love to center their conversations around themselves all the time. And this is something that I personally dislike because it kills the communication and it kills the empathy that you insisted on when taking the other's perspective. We all know that many self-centered people in life take their own perspective only. They tend to be defensive to feedback and constructive criticism that are meant to improve their processes of dealing with things. And this is something that I'm also working on as well because today we are in a world where individualism is dominant. And here, our role as young leaders is to break this ice, not sticking ourselves to the status quo. So we get this opportunity to establish communications between each other, agree on the rules, agree on the norms and the standards on how to engage with each other. So we reach a point where trust is built. And this way, we can take our teamwork spirit into the next level. This is not only applied on a professional level, but also in our relationships and our friendships and our building communities. Today, communities are not built anymore around a cause only. It's about the family spirit, the bonds that you create when you lead on a project, when you mobilize people around a specific topic that you are interested about.
Copy that, sir. So, if you remember, Ali shared his experience with us, and he mentioned debate. And one of the core, like competencies that we get from debate is this power of perspectives. And what you mentioned, Ryan, is like the core meaning of respecting people's perspectives when it comes to agile leadership, and also dialogic communication, that type of communication that recognizes the other, and that recognizes its perspective, I mean their perspectives and everything. And I'm very thankful for this because it's enlightening when it comes uh to how we cannot separate like communication from a professional and a personal level. So I need to know how to say thank you in another language, but I think I'll try Spanish this time. So gracias. Please, can you read it for us, but sentence by sentence?
You want me to read it?
Yes, please, sentence by sentence, because we need to stop at each sentence to
Yeah, for sure.
have a light discussion.
Okay. So agile leaders focus on the needs of others.
Thank you. So who would like to Okay, let me ask Afaf. Afaf, you had an experience with diplomacy in Strasbourg. Did you feel that that experience, responded to this need of knowing your needs as a student who, who has a lot of, I would say, positive energy for the future, who has a lot of dreams? Did you have this respect from senior, like coworkers?
It really depends on the person and on the experience, to be honest. I was lucky enough to have an extremely nice, well, I had no supervisor. My only supervisor was the Consul General, His Excellency, and he was extremely nice. He treated us as one of his own kids, so didn't really have to deal with the troublesome hierarchy. But in terms of knowing what these needs, I would say, are as students or as young professionals or as interns, you name it, you do find yourself in some situations where you're forced to deal with certain agility. Like, you don't have any guidelines, especially when you mention diplomacy. It's not really exact science, not 1 + 1 = 2. So you have to be flexible and agile, otherwise some major things would go wrong and you would be the one to blame. So this is part of hierarchy that was not really direct hierarchy, like no one was bossing me around, but then sometimes you would be given responsibilities and you had to make some sense of agility, otherwise you would be blamed for things going wrong, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, thank you very much. Really appreciate it. I'll go back to Ali as a professional trainer to tell me how he knows about like the needs of others when it comes to a workshop, for example, or a training or something like this, because we need to exchange some practices as a family again. So please, Ali, could you share with us like maybe some techniques or some ways that you follow to know about the needs of others when it comes to the trainings you lead, as a leader, as a facilitator?
Oh yeah, yeah, thank you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, sure. Clear. Yep.
Okay. But just like let me like have 1 second and I'll go maybe
Yeah, sure.
next.
Okay, Ali. So maybe when you have your time, I can go
Yeah,
to
Maybe I could
Asad.
chime in
like,
on this one, Yahya.
I'm sorry?
Maybe I could chime in on this one.
Yes,
I
please,
also
Ikram.
train
Yes, waiting
facilitators.
for Ali. Please tell us.
Yeah, sure. So I also train facilitators who facilitate discussions with people from different countries. And one of the things that we have in the model is to try to understand the need by looking at the iceberg. I don't know if anybody is familiar with the iceberg theory. You have the tip on the surface, but then you have so many things below there. Now, sometimes how this translates into dialogue, and most of the time you have emotion and dialogue, and sometimes you're having a conversation with your team and you feel like one teammate is just repeating themselves, like they're constantly talking but they're saying the same thing. And so if you ask yourself as a leader, what is the need of this person, why are they repeating themselves, most of the time it is the need of feeling heard. And so if you mirror back to this person what they're saying, so Yahya, what I heard you say is blah 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 blah, exactly what Yahya said. Is this correct? This will, one, signal to Yahya that I was listening actively. So yes, he was feeling heard. And then it will also allow me to fact check whether I completely understood what they were saying. And then you would be able to open it back to the rest of the group. I think in almost every sort of dynamic that you have within your team, it's very important to think, what am I seeing on the surface? Yahya is furious. Sorry, Yahya, I'm picking on you. What is
Oh, sure. Come on.
there? Right. So
I'm
why?
I'm the volunteer of today, so please.
Sorry, you're the
Yeah.
scapegoat for today. Why is Yahya furious? What tells me that Yahya is furious? Maybe his tone, maybe his shouting, maybe he's talking very quickly. But then what are the possible needs that are unaddressed right now? Sometimes this could be very challenging. As you were asking a couple of minutes ago, what are some challenges that you face as a leaders? When you have a team, a great team, but they have different needs. I can think of a dialogue discussion I had with my team, and one of the participants there had ADHD, so they needed things to be done. They don't want to be offered a lot of options, or the idea of having to choose between two things. That's out of the question for ADHD people. And then another teammates in the same group needed a lot of time to process things, a lot of time to think about their ideas. And this was very frustrating to the ADHD participant. And then for on the other side, for the other person, it seemed like lack of tolerance. So it's a huge dynamic going on there. And sometimes it could be really difficult to address needs that are very different within one team.
Thank you very much, Ikram, for this. And this reminds me of some of the things I follow as a learning facilitator when it comes to teaching English, for example. I focus on like needs that are related to the human being. For example, the physical part, the mental part, the psychological / emotional part. So, for example, I remember that I had a discussion with one of my students some years ago, and it was very fast for me that I recognized she's an introvert. So I invited her outside and I said, listen, I know a little bit of how you feel. It's okay, take your time. If you want to answer, you don't have to answer directly. So she felt like she's safe, and she was feeling safe back then. Now I still have her. She's now a university student, and she still comes to my like speaking club. And I've seen that difference because of that. I wouldn't call it empathy, but that knowledge of some needs. So when I know that someone is introvert, for example, I should respect many things about the way they communicate. So this is just an example, and thank you very much, Ikram. Like what you said was very like fruitful for all of us. Now I would like to listen to Muhammad, because I know he's also like a leader in his city, and he leads a lot of activities and associations. So please, Muhammad, you are free to share with us.
Yes, thank you, Yahya, for the workshop, and it was nice hearing you and all the interaction with all participants. I will just share my experience in terms of agile leadership. So from my side, I have a team of 5 people. So I'm just share a quick experience on what I've noticed since that I had people come and go in my team. So basically, in terms of needs, okay, I will just talk about the first phrase about needs identification. So at first, most of the needs would be technical. How to do that, how to use this template, how to work with this kind of stakeholder, etc. But then once they progress and I would say gain more experience, practical experience, the um, um, the needs would become emotional. So team members just want you just to hear them, to ask them about their life, about their goals, about what happened yesterday in wherever. So it's a um so it's I've seen this pattern. So like I said, it starts from technical skills, to learn about new technology, information, etc. But then it turns into something personal, and this is where it gets tricky, because as a team lead, you don't really want to get heavily involved in their personal matters, because at the same time you need to have that professional I would say place in their life. Voila.
Thank you very much, Muhammad. And this shows that when it comes to needs assessment for team management, we can say it's relative. It's relative to the context, it's relative to the job, it's relative to if it's an association, if it's another thing. For example, I lead some trainings for volunteers. It's part of volunteer training. And as I told you, like I had this training in the US about volunteer management. And normally I have like many tracks, like track 1, track 2. So in track 1, I just assessed like the needs in general when it comes to their like mindset needs, when it comes to service, technical needs, for example, and so on. Track 2, focuses on the special needs that they need for the task they are receiving. For example, if it's facilitating workshops. 2, I think 2 weeks ago, I was volunteering in the mountains of Morocco in partnership with another association, and I was volunteering with one of my former students, which was very like I don't know, like happy, exciting for me. And then I did a little bit of needs assessment when it comes to the way they facilitate. So they were speaking to students from primary school, middle school, and high school, and then they didn't know that they should adapt the way they talk to students because of notions and stuff. So that was a need that I had there. And maybe for my next volunteering with this association, I will focus on this need. Mohammed, please, if you would like to add more, please feel free to do so. Uh, yes. Oh, okay. Thank you very much. Ryan, please, can you, my dear brother, read the second sentence? So, Ryan or any other volunteer?
I can, yeah,
Yeah,
of course.
but
I can
Ali,
do it.
you're back, brother. So yes, please. Would you
Yeah.
like to talk about needs assessment?
Like from they acknowledge other people's perspective, give them care they need to meet their work and personal goals. Right? From here? Right?
Yeah, sure. So we can go to the next part because I don't want to take you for a long time. So yes. So here
Involve them. Oh,
we have the second sentence with Ali. Yes, please.
yeah, involve them in decisions where appropriate and build a sense of community within their teams. This leads to higher engagements, more trust, and stronger relationships with team members and other stakeholders.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So let's now let's talk about perspectives, and I will go to Ansam because she has a special story with this. Uh, did you feel that they were respecting your perspective when it comes to my work mindset, the way of doing the work, and the way your work day was going, Ansam, before you made that decision? Or maybe that was one of the reasons you decided not to continue in that job. At the same time, I would like to remind all of us that you are welcome to speak any language you would like. So um, feel free to speak it.
Can you repeat, please? What is the question that you wanna?
So the question is about respecting people's perspective. It's actually what you talked about, Ryan, before.
Yeah.
Uh, so you gave us like an example from personal communication and professional communication. So I was just asking Ansam if she has like maybe something to add because she had a work experience, but she didn't like it. So maybe one of the reasons why she didn't like it was because of this, not respecting like her perspective.
I would say I highly value perspectives all the time because when you tell people we're approaching this meeting from the level of perspectives and not facts, you give them the space to constructively disagree with you. After all, it's my opinion. I can say whatever I want. But then when you tell them, no, we're only here to discuss facts and that's it. So the decision is already made. So there is no room for discussion. But then there's also always time and space for perspectives. Now, if we're just talking about a strategy or how to go forward, everybody can have their own perspective. But if we're thinking, for example, you're in charge of a team of what do we call them, lawyers, you can't go into a court and say to the jury, from my perspective, this person is not guilty. So sometimes you have to have that kind of authority, but having space for perspectives would offer richer discussions.
I strongly agree with you, and I can have a reflection from the sector I work for, which is the public sector. So sometimes you cannot allow this all the time. Sometimes you have to, you have to follow a certain way of leadership. And then when you are doing like brainstorming or you are building like the first steps, you can allow some freedom for perspectives. That's why we have, the word where appropriate, because that's mandatory. Khadija, what would you like to share, please?
Yes, just about this point, like I was in Morocco for sure. I'm Moroccan, and I met a lot of people who are working maybe in the public administrations or just like when we would love like to do an internship in Morocco. And once I came to France, like I recognized that there is really a very big difference between, I don't know if it's the same for the Arabic countries, but like in our case, I felt a very big difference. First of all, inside the companies, people could talk to their n plus one or n plus two as they are their friends. Like there is not a specific protocol like in Morocco, Monsieur, Madame, vous. We don't have that in France. It's not only in France, but I guess in even in in USA or UK. And the second thing that I learned, for me, like for example, in my case, when I am in school and I go like to request or to meet someone in the administration, I start with the madam or sir or mister, and like every day they told me, please, could you just like don't give us too much protocol because we are here as a colleagues, even if they are like more aged than me and they have a very big position inside the school, and they really appreciate that. But in Morocco, when like if even you have a very strong background, even if you did your diploma in Harvard University, once you will go in Morocco or and you want to work, when I say that, of course, I don't want like to minimize the value of my country. No, but there is a problem. There is a real problem. You give too much to your superior. Like you have even bring him coffee. Sometimes there is some people who don't respect themselves and they're doing other jobs just like to be like next to their superiors, and I don't know why. Maybe because we don't define well the real sense of the power, because people in Morocco, right, I guess in the whole, I don't want to generalize something, but I guess in Arabic countries, this is the Arabic mentality. When you have a power, when you have a position, you have like to, you have to prove it to anyone, and you have to prove to anyone that you are someone. And if I want to talk with you, I have to take a meeting or to fix a meeting 2 days before, and after 2 days when I come, I will not find you because you are too much busy. And unfortunately, yes, we call it واسطة محسوبية.
Ali
Yes.
is giving you the like how to describe it.
Yes, and we have like to change this mentality starting from us as a youth. Really, when I came to France, I changed my mentality too much, sorry, and I decided like to really, even if I have, even if I'm someone, even if they will bring me tomorrow in Morocco as a director of such company, X company, I will not be their god in the company. I'm just a person, a manager, and as you said, a leader. There's a very big difference between the leader, manager. Manager is too much operational things and the orders. But when we are talking about leaders, there are people in, like tomorrow, if I want to work with you, Yahya, and you are my leader in work, I want to see myself in you. I want tomorrow to say one day I will be like Mr. or like Yahya, because he was a leader, not a manager, and who is making me suffering to get a salary at the end of the month. So this is like a small experience, and for sure I worked too with a lot of organizations in the past, and I made a very big difference. I can just share with you if I will not talk too much. I don't
No,
know
no,
if
no,
it's
come on. Like
okay.
this is a family time. I'm not here to I don't know, like I'm not here to act or to follow a certain form. This is our time, you know?
Okay,
So
thank
the
you very
recording that we are doing is to share with our other members who did not have the chance to be with us. So I'm not here to, to set any rules that would stop you from sharing.
Okay, but thank you. So like with my humble experiences that I got in the past, I worked with a lot of organizations to organize Moral United Nations in a lot of countries. And I was the outreach manager of an international organization, which is Best Diplomats, for 3 years. And when I worked with American people and Pakistani people and the international people, it was really, really, really good. The day that an organization came to me and contacted me via Instagram to ask me to be the manager of such MUN that now is really get a huge, huge publicity in Morocco, even if they don't deserve. It's my own opinion. First of all, I met people who really don't have any background, like with all my respects to people, but at least people who want to organize international model United Nations, they must talk in English. They must, even, yes, we are Moroccan, it's not our language, but at least when you are the president of an organization, this is like the minimum. Second thing that they chose me because they don't have any idea about how to organize it, what is the program, the councils, everything. And me, because I didn't have the experience, the large experience in work world, I gave them everything, like everything, even the program. And this is a very, very, very bad, is very big mistake that I did in the past. Is you, Yahya, is you because you have your secrets, and even never ever you must share your secret of being Yahya one day. And for me, because I was also very young, like I was 19 years old, so I prepared everything, the partnership with the hotels, people, publicity, everything. And at the end, they they started like doing I don't know how to say it in English, but it's la fraude, which means they want to enhance the amount of the participation, even if I negotiate the price with the hotel just to gain. But when we talk about modern United Nations, it's United Nations, it's human rights, it's youth. It's not about prices. And me, because I'm honest and je crains Dieu. I can't, like, it's my image, and people who are following me on Instagram, they already know that if I share something which means it makes sense, and really it will help them in something. So what they decided, they deleted me from this project, as like I never been there, or like I didn't do any work. And I was really surprised because how people, just because they have a short power, just because they are more aged than me, they know X and Y and Z, that's why they have this power. What I learned from this experience, first of all, when you have competencies, it's your competencies, it's your core competencies. You have to keep it to yourself. I don't know, when I say that, it doesn't mean that you don't have to share, no, but it's a secret. Tomorrow, when we will recruit you in a position, we will bring you to solve a problem. If we will find someone who will pay him or pay them lesser than you, goodbye, like you lose your job. And this is some things, but the relationship with the leadership is sometimes you have be you too, even if you don't have too much experiences, you must be a leader with yourself, which means you have to take the best decisions. You have to learn from your mistakes. You don't have to give like right to people to decrease your value or something. And this is just a smart story. And I would also to congratulate you, Yahya, because I guess you worked on yourself a lot. I analyzed that starting from your introduction, because using storytelling in a conference or in a workshop is a very smart thing, because you impact as you attract my mind, even if I'm thinking about a lot of things. And I'm very happy that EUG's connectors are people who deserve to be here. Thank you.
Thank you very much, my dear Khadija. And let me share something with you. I strongly believe that everything you had will never be lost. it's a teaching experience that we are benefiting from now, and I'm sure that you will use it also in future, because this is, this is how I live my life. And I always see that everything is a teaching, is a teaching time for me. I know it feels so, so hard to accept this, especially back then. I mean, I know how events like this are are not, they are not present, they are not meaningful when they have these practices. You talked about something very important, which comes from culture studies. And by the way, I studied culture studies, American culture studies, back when I was in studying at university. And we talked about this co-culture, like corporate culture. Sometimes the corporate culture is inspired from the culture of the country. Sometimes it's from the culture that was imposed on the country, from the history that was imposed on the country, and so on and so forth. And you can even see this change in communication. For example, in some cities, looking at your eyes would mean respect, but in some other cities, looking at your eyes would mean disrespect. So this relativity of meaning and perspectives is always like a food for thought. And I see it important when it comes to understanding others. Uh, in order to understand perspectives, you need to be patient, because it's not easy. And I will mention a book called The New Earth. Understanding perspective means that you are not led by ego. You give yourself a time to be present in order to recognize others as other human beings, with human and beings as two independent words. To be honest, my dears, I don't want to take you for a long time. Let's just focus on one thing. I mean, I know the results are higher engagement and trust, but I still have the word community here. And I would like to go back to Ansam again, because she shared a professional experience today in which she did not feel that she was part of a community. And I would like to know from her, like, how would she feel that she is part of a community in future? Like, what would make her feel that this is a community? This is not a technical, dry work environment, but it's a community. If it's possible, of course, for Ansam to speak. If it's not, please.
Uh, oh, go ahead, Sam.
So
Can
we
you
have
repeat please,
Ansam. Yeah.
Yahya?
Ansam, the question was about this idea of like the third idea that we have here, which is having a sense of community. I'm sure that you would like to have it in future professional experiences. My question is this: what would make you feel that you are part of a community and not just a work environment?
بالنسبة لي I think إن I don't know، يعني مثلا ما أقدرش I can't say مثلا إن أحس إن الورك work environment، يعني مهما حاولنا أن نحن نعدلوا فيها في الأول والآخر هي work environment. يعني أوكي إنها ممكن في يوم من الأيام إن هي تكون friendly environment، لكن كcommunity I think it's so hard. يعني at least بالنسبة لي في للورك environment مثلا اللي أنا نشتغل فيها هنا في ليبيا، يعني تجربتي الخاصة. يعني اشتغلت مع INGOs في مناطق متفرقة، يعني أنا في مدينة بنغازي أو في مدن ثانية. أوكي، مهما كانت الورك انفايرمنت حلوة، بس لا ترتقي إنها تقدر تطلق إن هي تقول عليها إنها كوميونيتي. ممكن من الأسباب، أنا من وجهة نظري الخاصة، أن ما زلنا في ليبيا حاليا نعاملوا في إن علاقتنا بالعمل إن هي تاسكس وخلاص، يعني كل إنسان يرد بيته يعني في آخر اليوم. ما نحسوش مثلا زي ما نقولوا بالانتماء للمكان نفسه. ممكن خصوصا نحكي على الوظائف الحكومية، إن من الصعب إن الإنسان يحس إنه ينتمي للوظيفة، خاصة إن أغلبيتهم مجبرين عليها. فممكن أمتى نقدر نطلق على الورك انفايرمنت كوميونيتي لما الورك انفايرمنت نفسها هي اللي تكون خالقة بيئة هيلثي للموظفين.
أنا متفق معاك. I agree with you. It's very hard with the public sector, a little bit less with the private one. However, I can share like some experiences. For example, I felt this sense of community a lot like last summer. I was serving at the World, School Football Championship, and I was feeling every day that I was not working. I was doing something that I love. The people who were with me, sometimes I would be like not caring about like who is that and who is the, not in a irrespectful way, but in a way that makes me feel that this is family, you know? I know it cannot happen 100%, but I mean, if a leader can, I know Muhammad would tell us a little bit about how I like how he makes his business as a community. But if a leader can, can help people to feel that they are not skipping life while working, there is no like life, work, life. No, no, no. There's like life as the bigger circle, and inside life there is work. So work should be part of life. We cannot stop life when we are working. And if we do this, we will not be human beings because that being would stop. So that's the perspective of having a sense of community. I know that, Stephen R. Covey says, sharpen the saw. I mean, if leaders can sharpen the way they work, they would have more, as we see it here, a higher engagement from their team members. But if they want to play it the old way, they wouldn't have that. So no, I don't want to add more to this because I know that Mohammed, Ali, Khadija would like to say more practical things, and I really appreciate sharing from real life because this is how we learn. I mean, this is how we can get this. So please, feel free. Mohammed, Ali, Khadija, feel free to share, please.
Okay, if you would allow me to get back a bit, like to the question that you asked me about um, leadership and training, leadership and mentorship, and in coaching. So let's like define what's leadership, what leadership is. So leadership is for me القيادة هي التأثير. So influencing others. So if you want to influence others, you would actually need to get with them on a personal level. Sometimes you would actually forget about the subject that you're training in and the startup that needs some fixes here and there, and you'd actually really get to their whys and like try to see what actually lights their souls and what motivates them. So sometimes really being professional isn't isn't the answer, you know. Like you need to be a bit like to get a bit on a personal level with them and forget about like the the old way of managing stuff of uh, maybe teaching. So that's about like the question that you asked me before. So leadership is about influencing others, and when you want to influence others, you need to get uh, to their whys. Why do you do this? So that's
Thank you very much. Yeah, I strongly agree with you. And when you were speaking, I was listening, and at the same time, I can now reflect on how I felt that I was belonging. And most of the time, it was because of this. It was because of that empowering moment of knowing that I belong. To be honest, this network that I am part of, and we are all part of today, one of the main things I like about it is this. For example, when I was in Strasbourg and I was with FF and Neda and Noor and everyone, I feel, and Nisreen back here in Morocco, I didn't feel that I was having like something dry without a life. Because if I have that, I wouldn't engage. And I still remember like back in 2020, my provincial director came to me because they wanted me to film some lessons for TV during COVID time. and I told her, I told him, for me, the work environment is everything. If I don't have materials, that's fine. But if I don't have the work environment, I cannot do my job in a good way. And he turned out to be a great friend of mine after that and an empowering leader, even though he works as a director. But I always tell him this. I tell him that whenever I teach people about communication and stuff, I give you as an example. And he was empowering because he knew how to, make a good environment, which led us to film for TV, to serve Moroccan people during like COVID time by sending videos to be screened on TV. And then that experience was the main reason why I was like participating in hosting like the draw on TV in English and translating for the World Football Championship and so on. And then he made me meet other leaders, like the regional director for education and training. And also, I worked for some time with the ministry, the central administration, by advising and by some small tasks. But that was a dream for me a long time ago, and it started from this idea of having a good environment that would lead me to have higher engagement and trust. So thank you very much for this, because this paragraph shows a lot about agile leadership. And as I told you today, my perspective is to have a family time of reflection. I don't claim to teach you about something, but I start from this basis of, even though we studied something, we should give some time every single now and then to refresh our perspectives and to share our perspectives on it. So the next one is from the Agile Business website, which gives us like 3 C's that inspired me as values, because I know that we connect with people first when we have the same values. And as a team, they should share the same values so that they can start. I know that some decisions are left to the top management, for example, the purpose, the mission, the vision, but values have to be understood and they have to be agreed upon from all the members. I don't know if you have an experience with this idea of values personally or professionally, or you would like to add more on values. Or maybe,
Yes.
yes, please, Mohammed.
Yeah, this is an interesting topic for teams. There is this book. Again, I forget the name of the book. That's embarrassing. But
No,
it's
you can
about
share it with us on
values.
the WhatsApp group.
I will surely search for it. But it has this. I think it's very known book for on leadership, and it has this exercise about values. So basically, what you do is this is an important thing to do before you start your work with your team, is to do this exercise as part of team building. So the idea is to give a list of all the possible values we have in the board, and then ask them like for 5 values that are important to you, and then divide that, and then just have only 2 or 3 important values. And I done this exercise, and it helped me to understand some aspect from team members that I would know if they don't share this with us in this exercise. So for example, I will give you an example. There was this lady who is like plus 45 years old, who chose time as a value for her. And the other thing is family. So for her, the 2 most important values are time and family. So when you know this information, next time, tomorrow or next week or next year, if these team members ask you that, please, I need this afternoon off to go and visit my my uncle or my mother or something close to her, you really need as a leader to take into consideration this, because family is something important for her. Same goes with time and other values for other team members. Well,
Thank you very much, Mohammed. You know, what you did is exactly like the idea of being intrapreneur, like, you know, not entrepreneur, but intrapreneur. Like you invest inside your team, you invest inside your company, you become the coach, you become the trainer, and you look for ways of R&D, like research and development. And this is something that is needed, and you know, you can reach it by continuous development and training. And I wouldn't add to it. The only thing that I would like to share is about communication. For example, during COVID time, I was working with a private school, and then I turned out to be like an advisor to the owner for many times, and I started helping them to move to some digital solutions, like creating a website, helping them with a YouTube channel, and so on. And then I was asking some the employees what matters to you the most, and they all highlighted this value of communication, and they all wanted it because they saw it as a respect to their human dignity. And communication in agile leadership is not a top down, like you don't wait for information to come to you, but it should be practiced in a dialogic way. Like you have it as an act of presence, as a dialogue. You feel that you get enough information about your task. You don't have a lot of mysteries about your task, so that you can feel that you are respected. You don't have secrets every now and then when it comes to the task description or the deadline of something. So that was something that I got, and I said maybe it should be the first thing, and it should be like understood in a very broad way, and at the same time in a very specific way. For example, last Sunday, I wrote an article. It was published on Morocco Pens, and it was about this: the importance of meta communication in time of crisis. And I talked about even the color of the tie, the seating, like the way people sit on a table and stuff. Uh, so the idea is to see communication from a macro perspective and a micro perspective, because sometimes we only focus on that technical process of sending a message, getting feedback, but we neglect some other things. Sometimes you want to be so friendly to people, but maybe the color of the tie you are having it does not help you, or maybe you shouldn't have a tie for for the first time. And specifically the message. For example, maybe you want to have empathy, maybe you want to practice it, but you are not explaining technical words to your team members and team in general. So that's why we have communication here. I can elaborate more on this for future sessions if you would like me to do that. But now I am very mindful about your time. And I just have some recommendations before we call it a day. So I have this, and it's one of the most important pillars for me when it comes to communication, by Stephen R. Covey in his book, like 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. It goes like this: seek first to understand, then to be understood. This can be applied personally and also professionally. Uh, the good thing is that we can do it systematically, which means that we can apply, as Ali or Muhammad or Khadija said, exercises, techniques, and theories that will help us. And I will share 2 books that I really love, and I have them here. And one of them, I think I'm reading it for the 3rd time, that helped me to understand myself first. And they changed a lot about me as a teacher, as a human being all the time, and teacher when I'm practicing it. So I would like to end up with these recommendations because practicing empathy, I don't want to take a longer time from your time. So the first thing that I would like to share with you is, this book that I am having here, A New Earth, which I have with me here. So A New Earth tells a lot about self, presence, understanding self, you name it. Another thing that I benefited from 10 years ago was this book, Mindset. I didn't read the book, I only had the explanation of the difference between fixed mindset and growth mindset. It was part of an online course that I was studying, which is called Creating Positive Classrooms. And it helped me understand how mindset is very crucial when it comes to learning, being, and doing. And then when I was teaching at high school, I was teaching this idea, facilitating it, because I cannot teach them about psychology from the beginning. I was facilitating this name of the game to my students. I was showing them the difference between fixed mindset, growth mindset when it comes to skills and stuff. And if you look at my story that I shared with you, and I didn't tell you everything, you would see that I strongly believe in this because I didn't speak this language that I'm speaking today. And it opened a lot of things to me. I mean, one of them is this Gil Connect. I wouldn't, for example, meet Nisreen if I didn't know Khalil, if I didn't go to the debate camp to do some workshops, if I didn't participate in the best Moroccan speaker, and you name it. So you will see that the start is believing that things can be learned, can be developed. Am I missing someone when it comes to raising hands? But please don't wait for me to see it. Just speak directly. So these are the two books. I have one more, which is called 50 Psychology Classics. So this book gives you 50, essays from psychology theories and practices that will help you understand self more. Because one of the main things when it comes to learning is meta skills. And there is an example that shares like 3 meta skills, which are self-awareness, creativity, and resilience. So as a leader, when you want to keep having this, lifelong learning, you should have these, like self-awareness, because it helps you to understand yourself and others, creativity, to do things in a different and a creative way, and resilience, because life is life. And we started by talking about our days, and it's never easy. So, hard things happen, and we have to have resilience when it comes to life. And we have endless stories every day about how resilience is very important. And if you pay attention and you come back to values, you will see that one of the main things that help you to have resilience is mainly about values. So if you have strong values and life perspectives, they will help you to stand up again and again. Here I have Bruce Stockman explaining like how club management, this club management thing works for teams and understanding how teams work. Let me share with you just something that happened like last Sunday. I was invited to a Moroccan city to participate in a public speaking competition as a judge. And then I invited the other jury members to have the same understanding of the reference. And then like the organizers didn't understand these phases. And I was explaining to them, I mean, what we are doing now is storming, and the purpose is to go to norming so that when we go to performing, it can be healthy and with the same reference. So this is just one of the things that would help you when it comes to coaching your teams, to make them understand how they work. Because when they understand that storming is happening, they should know some ways, for example, note taking, assigning a coordinator, and so on, getting away from collective ego and personal ego, allowing themselves to respect others' perspectives and so on, so that they can go to norming in a healthy way. Let me check the discussion. Yes, my brother Muhammad. And when it comes to performing, they can reach that with the outcomes of norming, so that they can all agree on how to move on to the fourth step. Bruce Stockman suggests another one, the fifth one, which is about rewarding, like that reward that you get as a team when you make something successful. I write opinion articles with Morocco pens. It's led by one of my dear friends in New York. He's Moroccan American. He's from Agadir in Morocco, from New York in the US, and they are volunteering with this website, giving people a chance to write. So even if you would like to write with them, I can put you in contact with them if you want to share your opinion articles. And I wrote an article about three tips to avoid fragile leadership, which I have seen as the opposite of agile leadership. And I would like to share it with you. So I'll share with you the document, and then you can find the link about like my main ideas when it comes to this topic. The other one is about I said yes. This one is about what I told you before, the importance of clubs, school clubs, university clubs, and giving people the chance to have a service learning opportunity and a chance. So I still have many things to share with you, but I am very mindful about your time. I don't want to take it to 2 hours. So please, now it's time for a feedback Q&A before we call it a day. And I'm very honored because I was a student today. I was learning from your experiences, your sharings, and my hope is to have a better experience for everyone who shared like an unwanted experience, and to have a better experience for those who had like a good day. So that's a family thing, and I wish you all the best. So please, it's time for Q&A or any feedback before we finish our session today.
Well, yeah, I'm really happy like that I'm connected to like great people, man.
Thank you very
I
much,
love
my brother.
yeah. I tried to not miss any sessions or workshops. Uh, like even though I'm doing like my daily walk right now, but yeah, I'm connected. I'm very happy to to get this like information from all of you. So I'm really happy and honored to be one of this network here.
Thank you very much, my dear friend and brother Ali. So thank you very much for everything you shared when you were speaking about leadership and how you see its perspective. I was really inspired. And you should know that when you teach a teacher, you teach a lot of people after the teacher. So when you teach me something, just make sure that you are teaching many people after me. And I am very thankful for every one of you who shared today. I will make sure not to be like the bad examples Khadija mentioned of leadership. I'll make sure to do my best in future if I'm given a team to make them belong in a healthy way as Ansam wanted. And I will follow like all the steps that Ikram suggested. And hopefully I will have the patience that Anas has, and the leadership model that Muhammad follows. So it's really inspiring to hear all of you, and thank you very much for everyone. I didn't mention everyone, but it means a lot to me. Oh, thank you very much for the people who are writing their feedback. So please have a wonderful night and a meaningful life. For the books, I'll share with you I'll take a picture of the books. This one, 50 Psychology Classics, and the other one, and I will share the PDF as soon as I finish the session now. So please, accept my thanking and my recognition for your presence, for your participation, and I hope that we'll meet again. I hope that it will happen physically because physically is always better. I remember that with Muhammad, we attended the Jazz Festival with the European Union in Morocco. With Ryan, we had wonderful times in France and Germany, and I hope that it will happen with everyone soon, inshallah. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Yahya.
Thank you, Khadija.
Thank you, Yahya.
Thank you,
Take
my
good care, everyone.
Thank you.
Yahya, this was amazing.
Thank you very much. And please take care of yourself.